breaking news. And really, if this story checks out, if this story continues, this is literally just unprecedented information that is going to enter the masses. So what are we talking about here? Man, so this is like super recent, like hours ago. So I'm kind of doing a late night show here, the late night Monday show here to just comment on this while it's fresh, because I don't know how this is going to develop, but we have some information here.
Bombshell claims from a military whistleblower. UFO wreckage recovered by the U.S. kept classified by a secret government program for decades. Tonight, a world television exclusive you will only see on News Nation. Welcome to Elizabeth Vargas Reports, earning your trust every night.
So we see the headlines here. The intelligence officials say U.S. has retrieved craft of non-human origin. Ex-Pentagon UFO whistleblower, government hiding alien tech from the New York Magazine. Military whistleblower claims U.S. has UFO retrieval program from News Nation. And News Nation is the organization that so far has the only recorded interview with him. And they broke the story, apparently. I recommend you go over here and just watch the full 11 minutes so you can see it all for yourself. So I don't really want to waste this video showing you the clips, but you know, we could watch this real quick and then we'll talk about it just so you can get the basic thing.
Old tales of UFOs may not all be conspiracy theories. In recent years, Congress starting an official U.S. government unidentified aerial phenomena task force, recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. And now in a News Nation exclusive, David Grusch, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force, and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the U.S. defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
Grusch sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
It's also hard.
If he's telling the truth, and now we have to understand he submitted all his proof to Congress, because he's going to Congress saying, I know about this, I'm letting the truth here, you can investigate it as it is, and do I have your approval to speak about this to the public? And he was given approval by the Department of Defense. So of course that can be analyzed many different ways, and certainly there's a possibility of it. Why now? Why is it being released now? And this is going to be the coming talk, but looking just at the facts of this right now, it's nothing short of just historical. The first time ever somebody has gone on the record officially, approved by the government itself, to have their statements, their claims, and the evidence for them submitted. And I mean, this guy was trusted, and he's already had some people come forward corroborating with him.
Government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the intelligence community inspector general.
I really just have to let this kind of speak for itself here. what do you even say? I think really my biggest takeaway is that I really hope if and when this really all checks out on the official level, I think one, we have to watch how the mainstream media spins this, because we know that there's always a motive there, and everything is dramatized. All the headlines and everything is always very fear-based. So I think we really need to watch out for it being painted as it's a threat. We're not safe. We need to militarize space. I think we really need to just watch out for that. I think we need to realize the logic that if these super more advanced beings and these super more advanced technologies from outside of the earth, if this is true, if this checks out, they could have kind of destroyed us already. So, and I do think that there's a benevolence to a more advanced species, and I think that that's necessary. I actually believe that in order to evolve and become so advanced where you are able to have this technology where you don't destroy yourself or destroy other civilizations, I think you have to be advanced sort of in a conscious, spiritual way, whatever you want to call it, where, you just want everything to kind of be in balance, and, you're not, killing each other all the time or just destroying the planet. So I think in a very logical sense, we can be at peace knowing that if this is real, this guy David Grusch is really the first one to really blow the whistle on this, even though we have, since the 40s at least, we have documented testimonies from that to the last 80 years. It's just crazy. So, but nobody has ever come out in this kind of way. It's like he's really coming out. And of course, people are going to question why now, and is this some sort of kind of smoke screen or a false flag operation? And certainly that's possible. We know that that the government has done that. Of course, go back to the Gulf of Tonkin incident in the Vietnam War, one example of just where the government literally made up a story to give a reason to go enter the Vietnam War. So we can't discount that is not possible. However, we also have to remember that Congress just passed a law where witnesses that want to come out and who had high security clearances who want to come out and reveal things, they no longer can be penalized by their oath or whatever it is if it's something that is information that they feel they need to get to the public. So I think that logically this also makes sense that he would actually really be real and is really coming out and telling us this. And of course we have to keep in mind all of the evidence that there have been retrievals, and going back to just one of the most well-known ones, the 1947 Roswell crash in New Mexico. If you take enough time to really study that case, you just see that something crashed there. I mean, you would, it just doesn't make sense to believe. You have to construct more of a conspiracy theory that it was a weather balloon or a radar detecting device, which is what they changed the story to. So I think the big takeaway here is just to be at peace and just kind of sit back, watch how this thing plays out, and remember that all is kind of in a balance, and that they're really, if there were other beings who were hostile, they would have done something already, or they'd be doing something. They wouldn't sort of be playing any kind of cat and mouse game with the human civilization here on Earth. The more you read the actual articles, you kind of get some more of the details. So, ex-intelligence official says government is hiding alien technology from Congress. Grusch is a 36-year-old combat veteran of Afghanistan. He was a member of the UAP task force from 2019 to 2021. He served as the representative of the National Reconnaissance Office, considered one of the Big Five of the U.S. intelligence agencies. That's a high up position. Verified. All this is verified, that he is who he says he is. His colleagues think highly of him too. Carl Nell, a retired Army colonel who was also on the UFA task force, told the debrief that Grusch was beyond reproach. Meaning he would not expect him to ever make up some story. Nell even backed up one of Grusch's claims in the complaint that there is an ongoing competition with other countries to identify UFO crashes, landings, and retrieve the material for exploitation and reverse engineering. Another intelligence official investigating UFOs, Jonathan Gray, concurred. Quote, "The non-human intelligence phenomenon is real. We are not alone," he said. "This is a global phenomenon, and yet a global solution continues to elude us." This comment is a little suspect to me. A solution to what? What's the problem that has been posed? Because if this is real, I mean, they're not doing anything to mess up our planet or threaten us, so and I guess it just reads a little bit that it could be implying that kind of the theory that there could be a false flag alien operation. You know, there's that guy who says he was an FBI agent, and he's been on a few podcasts that I've seen. I forget his name, but he's if you just Google or search on YouTube FBI agent false flag operation, you'll see him. He's kind of like a bigger guy with black hair and glasses, I think. He said that this is a sort of a card that, or a scenario that has been on the table within the military-industrial complex to create this false flag operation sort of as a way to create support against a common enemy and kind of just control things through that. So that sounds a little bit in that ballpark, but then again, he might just be speaking whatever he means. You know, that's just interpretation. In an unclassified version of the complaint that Grusch submitted to the newspaper organization, it says that the evidence of extraterrestrial tech was illegally withheld from congressional oversight by the intelligence community in order to purposely and intentionally thwart legitimate congressional oversight of the UAP program. Part of his complaint is that he was subject to retaliation. He requested that the details of that retaliation be withheld to protect the integrity of the ongoing investigation. An intelligence investigation has been launched in response to his whistleblower complaint. And, of course, the Department of Defense cleared the information in the report in April, approved him to go and speak on it. And they have since released a comment, which you'll see in the in the News Now, in the News Nation report. ARROW, which is the new name for the UAP task force, they changed it to ARROW, All Anomalies Resolution Office, has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. ARROW is committed to following the data and its investigation wherever it leads. ARROW, working with the Office of the General Counsel in the Air Force, Office of Special Investigations, has established a safe and secure process for individuals to come forward with information to aid ARROW in its congressionally mandated historical review. So, a big takeaway just from this is the Pentagon, although this is very well put forth here in the moment, because it's almost like the Pentagon is not saying that it's true what he said, you know. But however, they approved him to present this information, and They're just saying that RO itself, that one organization, has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims regarding yada, yada, yada. Of course, he just submitted the report, or they haven't, given a response to that yet. And there's another part of the quote here. This review is going to be due to Congress by June 2024. So what is that? I mean, if this is legit, does that mean we have a year? Are they giving us a year to just prepare for disclosure? I mean, this is kind of crazy if this is real. Of course, it has the chance to be swept under the rug like other things have, but we've never seen anything on this scale. We really haven't. And again, they're welcoming, like it says here, RO welcomes the opportunity to speak with any former or current employee or contractor who believes they have information relevant to the historical review. Again, there was the law just passed, I believe, just last year, 2022, protects people from coming forward. It's going to give a lot more people are going to say, all right, I want to talk about this. I don't want to keep it a secret. Whereas before it was illegal to do so. If Congress comes out in a year with their report and officially says that their information is verified, I mean, it's absolutely nuts. And I find the timing to be very interesting. Okay, today is June 5th. And of course, one of the people that we can't ignore in this whole topic is Stephen Greer. And he has really actually legitimately worked with insiders and part of his disclosure project. And I think it's interesting that he is releasing his documentary tomorrow, and then in a week from today, he's doing Disclosure, the second version. He did the first one in 2001, where he had 20-something witnesses from inside the military come give an open press conference and sort of give their testimony about this kind of stuff. And he's doing another one in a week. So it's interesting that this is coming out now, too. If maybe they know this is happening, maybe it's like, let's just kind of get a bunch of stuff out now, let it simmer a little bit, and then see how we kind of unravel it officially to the public in a year. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Of course, I am just a humble human here, interested in all this information about our world. We really just have to wait and see how this plays out. But this could be a major, major breakthrough. And it's funny because it almost, I don't know, if Congress says that his information is correct, it's such a game changer. And it almost makes all this research that I've done into all of these cases of the past, makes it seem like pointless to continue, because it's confirmed. However, that may be even more important than ever to kind of sift through what the real story is, because that might not be revealed to us so blatantly and so openly. So in order for us to really know what the most likely cases are, we're still going to have to look back to the history and look back at the evidence that's been accumulating over the last 70, 80 years about this issue. And we're going to have to use that as well in interpreting and verifying what we're going to be told now. But in any case, I really think no matter how this thing shakes out, all is going to be well. So stay positive and get out there, enjoy the nice warm weather, the longer daylight if you're in the North American continent as I am. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.